$15,000 surety, but there have been several changes in circumstances, which now I would ask for, at the very least, a substantial surety bond in this case. The first reason I would ask for that surety bond is that the defense is now asking for a continuance for next week's trial, so he's not going to be walking in the next few days. In fact, it appears that the defense is going to be asking for a continuance until I don't know when. From my discussions with them, every date that I've given them hadn't really been good enough. So I would ask for a surety bond since we're not going to try this case next week. Obviously, this is an extremely serious matter. He's not looking at 0 to 10 years. He's now looking at a mandatory minimum of 30 years. Second, Your Honor, or I would also, and more importantly, I would ask for a substantial surety bond after what we heard during the stand your ground hearing. It's the state's position that after the defendant testified, there are a number of inconsistencies that we believe that we're going to be able to prove at trial with the facts in this case. We also learned during the stand your ground hearing that this defendant has not had the most stable past, that he did not leave the Orangeburg County Sheriff's Office like he said under direct examination. He was fired from the Orangeburg County Sheriff's Office for a number of acts that I submit are unstable, such as showing up for work drunk on duty.
Judge, I would object this. That's irrelevant.
It's not irrelevant. It goes to
the court's already heard the testimony. And you can only be doing it for one reason, that's the prejudices in front of you.
I'm trying to prejudice so he gets a high bond, yes.
You know, Judge, we have had notice from the beginning that he was going to try to get a warrant. Now, that indictment, that doesn't mean they were going to get it. But the thing, we're on a surety bond now, and he's been no risk since the time it was issued.
No,
I'm sorry to interrupt.
Yeah, I understand. I'm going to allow him to go ahead and make whatever statements he wants to make for the record. This is for purposes of bond.
That's right.
And it's not in front of the jury, so I understand what everybody says. I know how to filter what everybody says.
I know you do,
Okay,
Judge.
thanks, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor. And again, it goes to the defendant's stability to stay on a bond. Again, he is not looking at 0 to 10 years. He is now looking at 30 years to life. And we learned that he was fired from the Orangeburg County Sheriff's Office for showing up intoxicated to work, and also he was disciplined for running someone down when he was off duty in his boxers or pajama bottoms with a gun. This is not a man that needs to stay out on a $15,000 bond when he's looking at 30 years to life. And that's the point I'm trying to make. For all those reasons, again, I'm asking for a substantial surety bond. I will point out that there are some, Mr. Bailey's family, I received a letter from Mr. Carl Grant, who represents the family, from Mr. Bailey's brother, William Bailey Sr., who lives in Maryland. I'm going to read what he requests. It says, I, William Bailey Sr., the oldest brother of Bernard Bailey, am writing on behalf of myself and my family to request that the judge not give a bond to Richard Combs who murdered our brother on May 2nd, 2011. I can give this to Ms. Hilda and make that part of the record.
Anything else?
That's all I have. Thank you.
Judge, the only thing I can say basically is he hasn't been a flight risk. He's been on a bond. They, from the beginning, if they're going to do an indictment for murder, they brought the other charge. He's been out on that. He's had no problems while he's out on bond. He is not unstable. He's obviously complied with everything with the bond that he's currently under. He had no prior record, and he's a homeowner. He's a resident of the county. He has had no problems ever with the law prior to this incident. We ask that it be a reasonable surety, or that surety which he's currently under be run on that together with that particular surety. He will appear at court, and the court knows that. We've been here. We've been every appearance, and I think that the statements made by the prosecutor were done for one reason. I indicated that to the court, and it wasn't for the purposes of the bond. It was the purposes of the community. Nothing, just we asked for a reasonable bond, Judge. He has been unemployed for the last 2 years. He's under medical treatment. He is disabled. He's a Marine Corps veteran. He's got serious back problems, as the court knows from the testimony.
Yes, sir. That's right. And I've got all my notes from the stand right on. Here, which I'm.
Just the only other thing, I could say one more thing I forgot.
Yes, sir.
I mean, it's critical that we have accessibility to him. That's another reason I would ask the court to consider that. meeting for trial preparation as to the witnesses that we need. And there's, the counsel for the solicitor's office basically said that we were trying to delay this. I haven't delayed it at all. Our witnesses, as we've told the court before in chambers, the witnesses that are critical to us are under medical condition and unable to be here. That was the reason. I think that was deceiving to the outsider justice.
Well, and I agree with that. That was the one witness. I was talking about in communications with Mr. O'Leary after we just met chambers. Then I found out about a whole bunch of other witnesses he plans on having problems with.
Oh, I did
Whether
say
they're
that.
FBI agents,
I never
US
said that. I
attorneys.
said, Judge, told him that when I find out the witness is under the medical treatment, I would find out the extent and how far that will actually go, as we discussed in the back. That's what I was talking about. I just said to him that I need specific dates to be able to issue subpoenas, because a person doesn't have the money to serve the subpoenas multiple times, as the government has unlimited funds to serve.
Come take a look at my budget. Tell me.
Well, whatever. Judge, I'll back
No,
off.
Judge, but I understand, and I've gotten the medical reports. I'm aware of the situation with one of your witnesses, and Mr. O'Leary, you did mention to me in chambers that you might have issues with an expert.
The expert, yeah.
I'm not addressing that because you haven't given me any.
That was for this week,
Okay.
Judge, or for the 8th, the week of the 8th.
Okay, all right. I've heard a lot of the testimony in the standing ground hearing, so I'm aware of a number of the issues that are going to be at trial. Mr. Combs is facing some very serious charges, and anytime you're facing charges where you're looking at a minimum of 30 years in jail, the issue of flight risk is always a concern to the court, and I have to ensure that he will be present. I understand that while he's been charged with misconduct in office, he showed up and we haven't had a problem with him. And I understand from the testimony there are issues that will come up that's going to have to be resolved that it's before a jury. He may have some issues to explain the situation and explain what happened. But because it's a serious charge, what I'm doing is I'm setting a $150,000 surety bond. It will be concurrent with his present bond. Okay?
Yes, sir.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge Dixon. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Judge.